Just wanted to thank everyone for being a part of this live lottery drawing tonight.
Stop. Stop.
The Crash Course Live is presented by Smash It Demolition Derby and the 2016 Bash for Cash. Demo Derby Master. Winter Slam 2016. Ultimate Derby and Blizzard Bash in Capital City Carnage. Syopa Racing and SyopaRacing.com. Reckless Abandon Derby Apparel at RecklessAbandonGear.com. And Derby Inc. Magazine. Live it, breathe it, be it, Derby Inc. This is the Crash Course Demolition Derby podcast, recorded live at the FingerLakes1.com studios in downtown Seneca Falls, New York. And now your host, Chris Marquardt.
Good afternoon, good evening. Welcome to a very special Friday night edition of the Crash Course Live, working in conjunction with some of the folks out in Nebraska as they get ready to do the team draws for the Midwest Smashfest two-man team show. Right now, coming to us via the Skype connection that we've got is Chad Bumgarner and Matt Vern Newcomb hanging out with us out there in Nebraska. Guys, welcome. I'm glad that we could hang out tonight.
Thank you.
I know before we get into the drawing, I'd like to first turn it over. I know you got some things that you wanted to say to the guys, and then we'll kind of break down what's going to happen and how the draw is going to work.
Sounds good, Chris. Can you hear me okay?
We got you fine.
First of all, everyone, for those of you that have never seen me in person before, I am Chad Bumgarner. I'm the promoter for the Midwest Smash Fest. Thank you to everyone that's tuning in tonight around the United States. We have interest from all over the country because of the size of the purse this year, and it's going to be a great event for everyone. So we just want everyone that's tuning in to have a good time tonight. We know a lot of you are partying, drinking beer, and we're going to make this a yearly thing when we do this. So we're going to have a lot of fun with it. Wanted to let everyone know the states that are represented in the drawing tonight are obviously from Nebraska, Iowa, Kansas, Colorado, Wyoming, Missouri, Minnesota, Ohio, Indiana, and Wisconsin. We've had interest from Canada and all over the country. And it's going to take about maybe a half an hour for the drawing tonight. Just a couple things. Again, thank you for everyone. And for those of you that are coming down to Geneva this year, if you don't make it in the show, don't worry. We have a little surprise for you coming up first of next week that might intrigue you for our surprise class. And for those of you that are interested that get in, your entry checks will not be deposited and cash at the bank until this coming Tuesday morning. That gives those of you that need to get some money in your accounts yet, you have Monday morning to do that. So to clear the air on all that, you have until Tuesday morning. I'm going to deposit them first thing Tuesday morning at the bank in Geneva, Nebraska. And if anyone has any questions or comments after tonight, don't hesitate to contact or call Matt or I at any time. You can call us whenever you want to. If we don't answer, just leave a voicemail and be patient with us because we have a lot of people we're dealing with this year. To give everyone else a heads up, for those that you know are coming to watch, be patient with us on the seating this year. We're going to have probably 5,000 to 10,000 people there this year. We had about 5,000 last year, and we were way overloaded on seating. We are working on potential funding for new grandstands, just so you know. But this year, tell everyone that's wanting to come watch, please be there 2 to 3 hours ahead of time because you're going to, if you want to get a seat, otherwise it's going to be standing room only. But the main thing is we want everyone to come and have a good time, and we want the show to be fair for everyone. So we always take ideas from everybody. Matt and I aren't perfect, and we just want to, this is the best way to do this for all the teams to give everyone a fair shot at this. And next year we have some ideas of how we're going to handle the pre-registration for next year, and we'll deal with that after the show this year. So that's all I have to share with everyone right now. We're going to get going with the drawing here to let everyone get going with their evening. And I'm going to be off to the side here when we draw the bingo balls, and I'm going to be circling all the names that are ready to go. So thank you again, and we'll talk to you later.
So just real quick to go over how this is going to go, Matt Vern Newcomb helping us out with the phone camera over there. There's a good look at Matt. We're going to have 24 teams from last year's pool that will be guaranteed starters. And then you know for sure there's going to be 10 new teams coming up. So the initial drawing that goes through is going to lock in those 24 from last year's starters. And then the second drawing that goes through is going to be the group of guys that have never run there before, correct? Or is there did I miss something?
Nope, you got it spot on, Chris. Basically what we're going to do here is We have 20 teams on the board right now that had actually ran at the show last year, 2016 teams. And we had 5 teams in addition to those 20 teams that supported our show in the past that Chad had made the decision to make sure they had an opportunity to get in one more time. So we will have a drawing for those 5 teams first from the past teams prior to 2016 to get to our 24. After that, we will do a drawing for the new teams. So there should be 10 available spots for brand spanking new teams to get into this show.
And is there any chance of a second drawing or a second chance drawing for the guys that have been there before, or they're in once and then that's all the chances they get?
So the guys that have been there before, they basically get one chance out of those 5 to fill the 24. At the end of the brand spanking new team drawing, once we get to 34 teams total for the 10 new ones, we're going to draw for 5 backup teams. So in the event somebody backs out of the show, we'll have 5 backups on waiting list waiting to go.
I don't think you're going to have to worry about those.
I don't think so either. If anybody wants to back out of this show, they're going to miss out on one heck of an opportunity, guys. This will be a great show to make it to. So you want to plan to be there on time. It's a phenomenal show. It really is.
And you work with Chad as the head tech at the Midwest Smashfest, correct? But then you run King of the Ring on your own with Crash Fest Express?
That is correct. Chad has lended us a hand with my crew at King of the Ring. When we get all 60 cars on the track, he goes to the Crow's Nest with a couple other people to help us keep track of when we get to the top 30. We call them car counters. Chad's officially one of our car counters. Working with our crew, because it's a lot of stuff to watch at that show as well. But yes, awesome. That's what we do.
Well, let's have a look at the board and see what we're working with tonight.
Okay, sounds good. And I want to introduce a couple of my guys.
Go for it.
Here as well real quick before we get started. I'm going to flip it around. This is Andy Cochran. He's from our hometown, Eustis, Nebraska. He's one of our techs. He's one of our flagmen. I got Mr. Shy Guy Ross Gensler over here who just walked in with his beard and is ready to go. Andy and Ross are geared up for the winter in Nebraska. So we're going to reveal what we have now. These are all, first of all, the existing teams from 2016 that have sent an entry back in and are currently signed back up for an automatic into this show. As long as they show up with their team the day of the Derby, they are back in. There's 20 of them guys.
Okay.
Over here, we have the 5 past teams from previous years in the past that have ran with us in the green there, very top. So that'll be our first drawing. For those 5, there's only going to be 4 of those teams that are going to get into the show. Okay. Then we're going to go into our brand new teams, which are in the red. And as you can see on the left-hand side is the bingo ball number that corresponds with your team name. We'll go down the list here, show everybody, give everybody an equal opportunity to see your bingo ball number and your team name up there.
Is that Scott Bauer and Matt McClure?
Yeah, that's Team Posta Mopar there.
And Dylan Kunkel down there at the bottom. Chad Markley's name on it. Tim Toddy, Matt Raymer, and is that Greg Elser? And then N35?
Yes, Greg Elser.
Awesome. Brandon Dixon up there at the top, right?
Yes, sir. Brandon Dixon from Indiana, which I think he's got a big show down in Kentucky tonight or tomorrow night, one or the other.
Yep, that's Redneck Rumble down in Sturgis.
Yes, sir. Okay, and then we go over to the right. These are new teams that sent entries in as well. Bingo numbers on the left-hand side, team name on the right.
The Gomot name, I see that on there. It's a pretty good list right there. Is that Tony Niemeyer?
Yes, sir.
Nice. I like it. And of all these names in red, only 10 of these teams are going to be locked in, and then after that, 5 will be standing as alternates.
That is correct. There'll be 10 locked in, 1 ball at a time out of the drum, and then we'll draw for the 5 backup teams for anybody that's going to back out. And like you said, Chris, I certainly do not think it's going to be a problem. I hope it's not a problem. We just don't want that. Okay, so next, you saw your numbers up there. I'm going to show the 5 existing teams from past years first, your numbers. I have I-18, B3, 075, G48, and 061. your 5 balls are sitting right here, guys. So you can see the numbers. I-18, B3, O75, G48, O61. Andy is going to stick those 5 in the drum right now. Okay. Ready? Yep.
Andy's doing a masterful job spinning the cage.
There's the first one.
Got the first one.
B3.
B3. Looks like Clayton Olson, Dylan Lane is in the show, guys.
Awesome. Got to hang out with Dylan Lane up here in New York over New Year's Eve.
Okay, we got O61. O61 is Ryan Daughtry, Nolan Kegley from Nebraska.
O75.
O75 is Mr. Mike Tix from Minnesota and Troy Elfering. Dang, it's hard to catch one when there's only 2 in there. My official Andy is a professional bass fisherman, just to warn you.
I-18, not a professional either.
I-18 goes to Jason Nuttleman, Travis Bodine from Nebraska.
Awesome.
And that's 4, right?
Yep.
Okay, Chris, real quick before we do the main drawing for the brand new teams.
Right.
Were you guys able to hear everything okay?
Everything went fine. We're getting reports from all over the place saying that they're loving the Skype and they're loving the feed, so it's working out good.
Okay, sounds great.
This ball goes in for
Standby teams. Set that aside for later.
So this is a standby ball for backup teams that'll go back into the drum
Okay.
for an opportunity to be a backup team above and beyond the 34 teams. That would be G48, Austin Shanley, and Nathan Gill. Okay, so now here's all the new team balls. I make sure everybody has an opportunity to see the numbers on the board here. And we're going to go back up one more time, give you guys the last chance to look at your numbers for your team before they actually go in the drum for the drawing. This is going to go fast, guys, with, was there 22 brand new teams? 32? I can't remember, to be honest with you, without count. 27 brand new teams. We're going to pull 10 of you out next.
So you've got almost a full field just in brand new teams.
This is brand new teams. We're going to finish filling the field to 30, okay? But we're going to put every single ball in there now for every single brand new team that's on the board. And we're going to pull 6 spots to get to 30.
Wow.
Okay? Everybody clear with me on that? Yeah. We're putting all the balls in, guys. Just to reiterate this real quick. We're putting all those balls in the drum. We got 6 spots to get to 30. Okay, we'll pull those 6 spots to 30. And then we'll get and pull our extra 4 out for the overflow 4-team event. And I think Chad discussed that earlier. So
just to take a quick second to clarify while you guys put all the balls in, the green teams all the way off to the side are guys that have already sent their money in. And from what was left here that we're looking at, the existing 26 teams, they've already paid their spots. They are locked in. Going back to the green names, that left an overall of 10 spots that are guaranteed to run in the show. 4 of them came from teams that supported the show in the past. Those are the 5 names. The only one not making it was Austin Shanley and Nathan Gill. They're going to go into the alternate draw later. We're going to be taking the final 6 of those available 10 spots from these new teams that are up on the board in red. Those are the names that are going to be drawn right now.
That is correct.
And then the remaining ball, Austin Shanley and Nathan Gill, will be added to the remaining teams, and those 4 alternates, bringing you to a total of 34 qualified teams, but only 30 teams total will take to the track when we get to the Midwest Smash Fest in Geneva later on this year.
That is correct. What we will do is we will run 15 heats of 2-on-2, and then we'll run our qualifying round of the 4 teams, and we'll take one winning team out of those 4 teams for the overflow into the A main, and everybody else will load up and go home, Chad, correct? Or do they go to the B main of the overflow 4?
Nope, only the winning team from the overflow class goes to the A main. The other 3 teams that are out don't go to the B main this year. Next year we'll do something different because we're looking at a potential 2-day show.
Wow. This show is going to be July the 15th, if I remember right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so those guys that are on that overflow side, in the event they don't get called in off the bench, they've got a chance to run for a shot to get into the A main just for supporting the show. That's pretty cool. They got a heat unto themselves.
Yep.
Yeah, we wanted an opportunity. Chad and I discussed this for a long time. We wanted an opportunity for more new teams to have a chance to get into this show, and this was one of our ways of doing it. And it'll add a little new excitement to the show. That's going to be quite a heat to watch, if I had to guess, depending on who all draws into that heat.
Yep, I like it.
One more thing, Chris, and not to get ahead of ourselves for next year, but I'll just tell everyone this right now. If we go to a 2-day show next year, we're going to have 50 teams.
Holy.
And if we keep it at a 1-day show, we'll extend it to 40 teams. But the format, what we're going to do right now for next year, I'll just go ahead and tell everyone this now, is the only way that you get first dibs in next year's shows, you have to make it to the top 10 of the A feature this year.
Wow, very cool. So some incentive to finish strong, more than just the money.
Okay, I think Andy here with Crash Fest is chomping at the bit to get these bingo balls loaded into the drum so we can get on with the new team drawing to see who is actually going to get in and who is actually not going to get in.
You know, I got to say, while you guys are loading that up, Matt and Chad, this is actually trending very strong online right now. You guys got a lot of people interested in how this draw is going to go.
Thank you.
Show your hands, fellas, that there's no balls in your hands. Okay.
Mixed up good enough?
I think that's mixed up good. Audience, are you guys ready? Start your engines. Here we go.
First team. N38.
N38. Who do we have for N38? Looks like Jake Gold, J.D. Walters. I believe those boys are from Colorado.
.062.
Actually 062 since this is bingo.
Well, yeah, since it's bingo.
We have Niemeyer and Eric Yoder.
Nice.
062.
062. N39.
N39. Go back to our board and see who N39. Looks like Chad Markley and a to-be determined partner. That's interesting. I don't know if Chad didn't want us to know who his partner was, just in case he didn't get in or what.
He's going to drive both cars, I heard.
That would be interesting. Hope he has 2 steering wheels.
G49.
G49, everybody. Looks like we have Mr. Toddy and Levi Skillman, G49. I think them fellas are out of Kansas.
Yep, Tim Toddy. We saw him at Blizzard Bash this year. Nobody knew them on the board was Brent Clemens.
B11.
B11, everybody. Go back to our board. Looks like we have the Martinson boys, out of Monroe, Nebraska, B11. How many do we have left?
One more for the top 30, for the first 30.
Chad says we got one more for the first 30 to pull out of the hat. And he's caught another fish.
070.
070. That's all right, Andy. We got some fellows out of Pueblo, Colorado, I believe. G. Miller, A. Cortez. All right, Chad?
Yep.
Pueblo, Colorado. Okay, so that fills us to the top 30. Not the top 30, but the first 30 in the team show. So now we need to draw for our 4 overflow teams. That will be a qualifying event. And again, to reiterate that, the winning team of the qualifying will automatically advance to the A main. Andy is going to spin the drum.
Hang on, wait. You forgot to add that other ball. Wait.
N32.
N32. Go back to our board to see who we got.
Didn't
boy. Looks like Andy Hansen out of Minnesota and Curtis Dittmer out of Nebraska. That's 2 old school guys right there.
Hey, Matt, isn't the Shanley ball, the Shanley pill, supposed to go back in the cage?
Not until standby.
Not
Okay.
until the standby.
All right. Gotcha.
Gotcha. Okay.
N45.
N45. Looks like we got Charles Keller, Landon Winslow, a couple Wyoming boys.
Still some pretty heavy hitters around the outside looking in right now.
O64.
064. We go back to the board and find 064. Looks like we got Matt Raymer and Darren Hall out of Kansas. Okay, we got 1 ball left to draw for the overflow.
G50.
Ball number G50. Looks like we have Matt Hurt and Matt Kama. Sorry if I pronounced your name wrong, Matt. Matt Hurt and Matt Kama. I think they're a couple Nebraska guys. Okay, so now we need to put the Shanley team ball back in. What's that number, Andy?
G48.
G48 matches their number up there, G48. We're going to set it back in the drum. This is going to be the drawing for the 5 backup teams in the event somebody backs out.
And we're drawing them in order, so I'm marking them down.
And we're going to draw them in order from 1 to 5. So if you're the first ball, you're the first backup. If you're the 5th ball, you're the 5th backup.
Now, before you draw that
hang
real
on,
quick.
Andy. Sorry. Go ahead, Chris.
Before you draw that real quick, Chad, I had a question for you.
Yep.
If a driver pulls out of the main pool of 30 teams, you've got your other outside qualifying group of 4. Does the progression go from the group of 4 into the main 30, and then the standby team goes into that pool of 4?
Yes.
Okay. So I was a little.
Yep. So Andy Hansen and Curtis Dittmer would be the first team in. If a team backs out.
Gotcha.
And we'll announce soon on when we have, if a team has to back out, we want plenty of notice so a standby team has enough time to get their car ready. Like if the first standby team number 35 is drawn tonight, if they know they're in for the overflow class, we want to give them plenty of time to get their team ready to go. So we're thinking, Matt, what do you think we should give the standby teams? If someone's thinking they're going to have to back out, they give us probably 2 months' notice.
I'd say 2 months' notice would be really good.
So by April 15th, you have to let us know.
All right, excellent. I just wanted to make sure that front to back through this, that I'm explaining this the right way and everybody's clear on it and there's not any confusion, because I know I myself, just in our discussions here tonight, I did get a little bit turned around on how the standby teams and the overflow teams were going to work. So I'm clear on that now, and hopefully everybody else is with us there too.
Yeah, and let me clarify. I didn't mean April 15th, May 15th. If a team's going to back out, we need to know by May 15th. And we just want it to be a natural progression to where if a team comes out, it has to back out the first 30. The very next team in, rightfully so in our opinion, should be the next team that was drawn for the overflow class, and it just all moves forward.
And then the standby team moves into the fourth slot in the overflow class. Gotcha. Perfect.
Yeah, and the reason behind that is to keep the show full. So for the drivers that come, that the enticement of getting their $500 entry fee back still stays intact.
Right. Because I mean, you got a cushion built in of 4 plus an extra 5 on the backside of that. It's a good move.
Yep. Thank you for asking that, so we get it clarified. But again, May 15th is the deadline for any team that thinks they're gonna back out. And if we're missing one driver from all them teams that come that day, the deal's off the table for the $500 entry fee back. Everybody has to be there, right. But they'll still get half their entry fee back. But as long as the show's full and we have 34 teams there, everyone will get their $500 back, and we'll do that the following week after the Derby.
Cool. Excellent. You want to find your standby teams?
We're going to find our standby teams now, Chris.
G51.
G51, Andy says we'll go to the board. Looks like Team Postal Mopar, Scott Bauer, and Matt McClure.
Nice. Dylan Kunkel still on the board on the outside looking in. See the Clemens still on the outside looking in. 4 spots left. 4 spots.
G58.
G58, guys. Looks like we have Flater and Haverkamp. I don't remember where they're from. Do you, Chad?
I do not.
Flater and Haverkamp. Second backup. Okay, now we're going to draw for the third.
Zero. Oh, 63.
Shanley?
063. Who do we have? It looks like Lewis and Lewis. 063. Got 2 chances left, guys.
I-20.
I-20. We have I-20. Where is I-20?
Earl and Martin.
I'm going blind. Oh, there, I see it now. So, yeah, there's some Kansas fellas. Matt Martin. I don't remember his partner's first name. Earl. Matt Martin, I think, has ran at Carnage last year. Good competitor. One to go.
G46.
G46, Andy says. We'll go back to the board and we'll find our final overflow team. Justin Wood, North Platte, Nebraska, and Justin Nitch from Lexington, Nebraska. That's our 5 backup teams. Chad, you got any final words? Chris, you got any final questions?
I think we got it. I tell you what, response has been great online. People are talking about who's in and who's out. They got people that are pulling for their drivers and already. I think it went over pretty well.
Thank you, everyone, again for participating tonight. To those that didn't make it in, we're going to have your name on a list for next year, just so we know right off the bat if you want in a chance at the drawing next year. Again, if we have a one-day show next year, it'll be 40 teams. So it'll be 10 that'll make it in. We're considering doing a longest hauler teams. So the team that drives the farthest this year will have a shot at it, even if they don't make the top 10. If we go to a 2-day show, it'll be 50 teams. But again, just keep in mind, you have to make the top 10 this year to have first dibs, because as this purse gets bigger, you have to keep it fair for everyone. Give everyone a heads up. If you're traveling from out of state, check with York, Nebraska. There's hotels. There's 7 or 8 hotels up there. We recommend the Best Western that has an Applebee's restaurant inside of it, across from the Petro truck stop, or there's a Holiday Inn Express. And as we're going to have a food vendor in the pits that's going to serve, we told them to be ready to serve potentially up to 1,000 people in the pits. We'll have plenty of food vendors outside the grandstands. And just keep in mind, again, if you want to get there and have a guaranteed seat, we're bringing in portable bleachers this year. So hopefully we'll have seating for hopefully about 4,000 people, but we know we're going to have way more than that there. So just be patient with this. And as we grow this show and we all work together at this, we're going to make it bigger and have fun. And just everyone, thank you for being a part of this tonight. And we'll talk to you soon. We'll see you on July 15th.
Awesome. Guys, appreciate you hanging out with us once again. Midwest Smashfest going to be taking place on July the 15th out there. 2-man team show, and going to be 30 teams in the main draw. Heads up, four heads in the ring at one time. So you got basically a 50-50 shot at making that A main. Sounds like the response has been strong. You guys are continuing to move in the right direction. We talked about the payout. Now we know who's going to be in competition. You've got until May 15th. If it looks like you're going to have to drop out of that main draw and it's going to in turn let the progression, the overflow team will move up into that main pool of 30 and for the big money. And then also one of those standby teams will then move into that pool of the overflow. Guys, response has been strong. Appreciate you giving us the opportunity to hang out with you on a Friday night and do this thing. And I think we've covered all of our bases. Is there anything else that you guys wanted to add?
Everyone stay tuned in to our Fillmore County Fair Demolition Derby page and our We Crash. That's where most of the information, if we have to post any updates. Again, the other 2 classes that we're going to be announcing will be on, I believe, on Tuesday. I posted something about Monday. Sorry, it slips my mind right now. But the first class that you all know about is the bone stock class. It'll be open to 15 individual drivers. We're going to cap it at 15. We'll reveal the purse and the payout and the pre-registration details start first of the week. And then the other class, we're going to go ahead and announce it now, is going to be a limited weld, 1 heat go class, same car build rules as the team show. It can be fresh or pre-ran cars. We'll announce all them details for that class on Tuesday. So anyone that didn't make the team show, if they still want to come and be a part of the show, they're more than welcome to be a part of the limited weld class 1 heat go, and we'll go from there. Matt, if you have anything else to say, I'll turn it back to you. Chris, thanks for your time tonight. We appreciate it.
You bet, Chad. More the merrier out there for the Midwest Smash Fest. Matt, you got anything else to add, or are we good?
I do, Chris. I first of all and foremost, I just want to take a little time here one more time just to show the board. I'm not the best cameraman, apologize, but thank you guys for signing up for this show. It's unfortunate that not everybody can get in. There's only so many available spots. The amount of entries we got was a little bit overwhelming. I'm kind of excited. I did win a steak dinner bet with Chad on the amount of entries we got. It was a pretty close race, but I did catch the win there. Guys, again, it's awesome to see your response. We hope more people can take interest for the show in the future and be a part of it. Last, I cannot reiterate it enough. Call, text with questions after 5 p.m. Central Time. If you have questions with the rules, don't go out on a limb and do something that you don't think is going to get in. Don't take that chance. This is a big money show, a lot on the stake. We want to see you be able to pass inspection and get in, but we're not going to cut any corners for guys to get snuck in with stuff, okay? We believe in fairness, consistency, and sticking to our rules. So, again, I can't reiterate that enough. I'm smiling now, but I may not smile if you're pulling the strings over our eyes.
That's the truth.
Right on.
That is the truth. We will stick to the rules. We ain't afraid to throw anybody out. We've done it in the past. We ain't afraid to do it again.
That's Inspector Andy.
That's
He's
Andy.
saying his piece.
Just so you know, Andy is a lot scarier than you are.
That's because he looks like Grizzly Adams from Snowy River or something with his hair beard on. So, anyway, Chris, thanks a bunch for helping us with this. I really hope everybody thought it was ran fairly. That's what we try to do to make sure everybody has an equal chance. So,
Perfect.
Again, thanks, Crash Course. Look forward to working with you guys. Hope we see you in Geneva this summer. It'll be awesome recognition for the drivers to have you guys down, and it'll be fun. Be a fun time.
Those talks have already begun, so we'll let it sit at that for now, and we'll probably be seeing you guys in July.
Matt, one more thing, Chris, one more thing, if you don't mind. Matt, talk about the half-an-hour rule about when cars go through inspection, if you would, please.
Okay.
Just briefly, if you would.
Yeah, what Chad's referring to, guys, if you come to inspection, we have assigned inspection times. Mm-hmm. And basically what we do with you guys is we draw for your inspection time throughout the day based on the number of road travel hours you are away from the show. So anybody that is close to Geneva and does not have that long of a tow, you're going to be first thing in the morning through noon. The longer hauls, guys, you guys are going to be later in the afternoon. We only have so much time to inspect every team car, and we will inspect you, and we will give you a list of things you have to correct. You will only get 30 minutes to make your corrections and get back to inspection for re-inspection before you go to impound. So do not, like I said, go down the road where you're going to have to fix a bunch of stuff and you don't make that re-inspection time on time, because that's going to put you guys in a pickle, and we don't want to see somebody driving 5 states away and not get in the show because of something silly you did with not understanding our rules. After inspection, once you pass, you go to impound, and then you'll go to the track drivers meeting, and then we'll release the cars out of impound for the main event, the heats and all that. So there'll be more information on that as time comes. I don't want to take up hours and hours. Everybody's Friday night here, but just wanted to cover that.
Well, I know that's the same process, and it's the same inspection procedure that's followed at King of the Ring.
Yes, sir, that is correct. We follow the same exact procedure at King of the Ring. The only difference is you show up one car at a time without your teammate at the Geneva Team Show. Each team is arriving at the same exact time.
Are you budgeting?
We write down the time you left the trailer, and we got a guy that's on the clock making sure people are getting back to re-inspection on time.
Are you budgeting about 15 minutes per car than 30 minutes a team?
I never like to let that secret out, because then guys think they can sneak some stuff in because they think we're under the gun for time. But yeah, it's a tight window for us. We have a good crew. We consistently inspect the same area of the car, each one of us. We don't move around on the car body, the car part. Each guy is assigned to a section of the car to inspect, and it keeps us flowing well. It keeps us consistent, and it works pretty well. So yeah, it's a tight window when you got a show like this all in one day. We bust our butts to make sure it's right, guys. We try hard.
It's worked before at King of the Ring when you shove 60 cars through, so I don't see why you couldn't make this thing work.
It causes some gray hair, some bald spots on my head, my wife a little friction, but hey, we're in this like you guys are. It's all fun, and it's very serious too, and we get it. This Derby's a sport that's a way of life for a lot of people, and we get that. I understand it.
How many times can somebody come back through retech, and how much time do they get if they have to fix something that was missed the first time around?
It's a one-trip rule. If they don't get it right at the second re-inspection, in other words, you go through the first time, 30 minutes, you come back, and if you're not right, you're done. I'm sorry.
That's that. I like it. Makes it pretty clear right from the get-go not to mess around with it, because there's not a lot of margin for error. If you start fiddling around and getting goofy or starting to get cute with stuff, man, it's not going to take much at all to find your car on the trailer.
Like I said, guys, it's a big show, good payout. Hat on a hat, 50% chance to get to the A-main. Play by the rules. Work with the officials. We will work with you. We're not going to cut any corners or cut any slack. So, but we want you to know that we will give you an equal opportunity like we give everybody else.
Awesome. Well, I appreciate
Looks like
you guys coming
Chad
out.
might be brewing up one little more storm.
Just to reiterate, if anyone has anything else to bring up to enhance the show or anything, there's not going to be any more changes made until the day of the Derby at the drivers' meeting. That we added more money to the B main after the January 10th pre-registration because we knew that was going to enhance the show. But if anyone else has anything else to bring up, it will be brought up at the drivers' meeting, and it's done after that. There won't be any more changes made. We had a little blunder during the show last year. We admit we made a mistake. Everyone, we got a lot going on with this show, guys. And we're not afraid to admit that we all make mistakes on that. Trust me, it's not going to happen again. It will be done and talked about at the drivers' meeting, and it's done after that. No more after that. So if you got something to bring up, please bring it up at the drivers' meeting, because there's a couple of things where you're going to bring up to allow all the drivers to talk about and to decide on. It has to do with the 12-minute format of the heats. But it'll be talked about at the drivers' meeting, where all the drivers can vote, and we'll go from there.
Yeah, that's right. One of the things we forgot to talk about a little bit earlier was the format. The head-to-head heats, they are capped at 12 minutes. It might go over if somebody's on the clock leading up to that 12-minute cutoff. We talked about that with Chad when he was on the show the other day. Best way to reach these guys, obviously, you can jump online. You can hit them up on Facebook, Matt Vern Newcomb, Chad Bumgarner. Spellings are right there. You can look those guys up on social media. You can get a hold of them through WeCrash. And, of course, there's a number of different Nebraska-themed Facebook groups out there. And, of course, you've got Midwest Smashfest online. You've also got Crash Fest Express Promotions online as well, where you can track these guys down, run your questions by them, give them a chance, and they'll give you a chance.
Sounds good. Thank you, Chris.
You bet. That's appreciate you guys coming on the show tonight. I think that's going to do it for us here in the studio, FingerLakes1.tv, giving us a chance to bring this drawing to you here live as it happened. Appreciate all the folks tuning in at home on this Friday night. Good luck to all those guys driving in Sturgis this weekend. Good luck to Mark Klein and all the guys that are working on the live stream as well. Brandon Dixon, hope you have a safe show. That is going to do it for us. We're going to be back here again Monday. We'll be talking with Sam Williams, and I think we're going to get Johnny Gullo as well to talk about the expanding Stern Dirt season. Again, Sam Williams is going to be on the show to kind of follow up on what we didn't get to talk about last Monday here on our studio episode of the Crash Course with travel arrangements and things like that. We just didn't connect the way that we wanted to. It was literally, we had just started to begin loading the show for the MP3 when he called, so we missed him just by a couple of minutes. So we're going to be catching up with him on Monday to talk about the announcement that he is stepping away from Demolition Derby as a promoter. Still going to keep his head in the ring as a driver. That is going to do it for us. We appreciate everybody, again, hanging out with us. There's one final quick look at the board. And that is it for tonight. That's going to do it for a Friday. We'll see you guys next Monday. That's going to do it for this one on Crash Course.
The Crash Course Podcast is brought to you in part by DerbyParts.com. The 2015 Wadena Grand Slam, Boat Lockwood Motorsports, and the 2015 Keystone Nationals. Syopa Racing and SyopaRacing.com. Ultimate Derby and Blizzard Bash 2015. Demo Derby Masters. Reckless Abandon Derby Apparel at RecklessAbandonGear.com. And Derby Inc. Magazine. Live it, breathe it, be it, Derby Inc. This is the Crash Course Demolition Derby Podcast, recorded live at the FingerLakes1.com studios in downtown Seneca Falls, New York.